Good evening, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. And this is our spring advanced academic parent night and student night. We will be giving you all some very valuable information. And we hope that you'll leave with everything that you need to know about advanced academic at Central High School. Dr. Higgs, next slide, please. All right, this is our agenda. Okay, don't panic. It seems like it's a lot, but it's not a lot. It's just that Mr. Allred is going to speak to us about some information, and his name is appearing a lot. So don't worry, we're not going to be here long. But when you leave, again, we do hope that you will have what you need and be equipped for making the best choice as far as advanced academics for your students. So our agenda, we'll have a welcome by Ms. Epps, who is our principal on assignment. Then Mr. Allred will come and talk about advanced placement courses. And then I, Ms. Blackman, that's me, I'll come back and I will speak to you about our advanced placement application process. And then Mr. Allred will come back for the rest of the meeting and he'll talk about dual enrollment, he'll talk about our college partners, and he'll also talk about dual credit. And then after he presents that information, we'll have a Q&A session, and you can either type your question in the chat or you can use the raise hand feature, and then we'll acknowledge you, and then you can ask your question. And afterwards, Ms. Epps will come back for closing remarks. And Dr. Higgs, that's just our goal. So that next slide, you can kind of just zoom through once Ms. Epps does her welcome. So Ms. Epps, it's in your hands.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I again want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm happy to see a lot of kids in our meeting tonight. We are trying to streamline this process and keep it all virtual. So we have moved a lot of this information online. So we don't have to pass it through a lot of hands, and we can do it through email, excuse me, including the application and the recommendations. So I want to thank Ms. Blackman for that and her hard work on that respects. We have also created the advanced academics workbook per se that Ms. Blackman will share with you tonight to help everyone study the different class options that we have so you can make informed decisions. And we encourage students to talk to other students who may not have been able to come tonight, parents to share that information with other parents who may not have been able to come tonight. We are recording tonight, so we will be putting this presentation on our website as well. So please share that and let the parents know who were not able to come that they have that option as well. So again, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Allred.
Good evening, everyone. So first off, we've got advanced placement courses. I think everyone has heard of advanced placement, of AP courses. It's kind of the oldest way of earning college credit in high school. So we have several AP classes. They do have some prerequisites, so we'll kind of talk about those a little bit, but more detail in your parent handbook that you'll hear about just a little bit. Next slide, please. So look at that. So there's several. We have AP for almost everyone. You see there's 3 art classes. There's world languages. There's computer science principles where they learn to code. AP Human for those students who maybe have not taken many honors classes and they need that help. We've got music theory for the future music majors, voice majors. It's a class you have to have in college. So like I said, there is something for everyone. I want to particularly point out for the rising 11th graders, 2 classes here, AP Seminar and AP Research. When you take those courses and successfully complete your project, you will get what's called an AP Capstone Diploma. And it is right up there with like an IB diploma, where we are asked that. That's one of the questions counselors will be asked by a college. Did you receive this accolade? So I really want you to look at that, especially if you're going into any college degree program that you're going to do graduate work, because I equate seminar and research to defending a thesis. Doing this research, you get to pick your project, and you're working with Miss Boyer and Miss Lee to, you're going to start this project, you'll do the research, you'll calculate the data, you'll defend it. It's really a great class for students who are going into, like I said, postgraduate work. Lawyers, please look at AP Government and Politics. That's one of our smallest AP classes and one of the most valuable to take. Next slide, please. Let Ms. Blackman take that.
Uh-oh. Look, I don't have my background. You're going to see my little office here. Okay, so you guys, we are so excited about our advanced placement application process that we're going to start this year. It will be all online. And so the first thing we also want to look at is that we created an advanced academic handbook. So Dr. Higgs, if you could click on that link. There we go. Can we download it? Can you go to where it says editing and download, if that's okay? It's not letting you. Okay, we can just go that way. I can go that far. All right, so if you could just scroll down. So what it is, this particular, okay. So when you get it, you'll get it in a PDF format. We did not do it here, but we'll put the link in the chat. We're also going to have it on our website for you guys to pull up. And inside of this booklet will be, keep going, will be our information as far as the administration and the counselors. It'll also talk about EPSOs, and it'll talk about the Tennessee graduation requirement. Of course, you know, you have to have a total of 22 credits to graduate. So all of that is in there. Keep going. And Mr. Allred will go in depth. But here you'll start seeing advanced placement courses that are, of course, listed. And the teacher, the instructor of the class, as well as their email address and a brief description of the class. In addition, when you get this and you start reading through trying to identify which one of these AP courses you would like to apply for, notice that some of these classes have special prerequisites or requirements that they ask that a student would have before actually entering that class. So for example, like biology, he's going to want you to make sure that you've taken chemistry. And he's also suggesting that you have to have 2 forms of recommendations. And he wants to make sure that one of those recommendations will be a recommendation from your chemistry teacher. Keep going for me, Dr. Higgs. So keep going. When you get down to, oh, okay. Oh, wait. All right, so like our AP European history, keep going right there. Here she says it is recommended but not required that students complete U.S. history before taking AP European history. Recommendation from a current English teacher is required. So again, I am encouraging parents as well as students, make sure you go through this book, make sure that you read, you identify the course, but you read the description underneath, because there might be some type of requirement or prerequisite that you have to have before actually applying for that class. And keep going. So after you look through this, you're going to come, the first section is about AP. And there's that AP research and some AP research and AP seminar that Mr. Allred already talked about for 11 and 12th graders. Keep going. There's the studio art. Keep going. Okay, then you're going to get into dual credit and dual enrollment courses. Here will be all of the courses that are listed with our college partners. Keep going for me. Keep going. So our post-secondary partners are Southwest, University of Memphis, Baptist, Bethel, and Moore Tech. So all of the courses that are offered, that we offer from those particular schools will be listed in this book with a brief description, as well as, again, there will be some requirements that they ask a student to have before actually signing up or are applying to the college for that class. Again, Mr. Allred will definitely talk about all of these classes. Keep going for me, Dr. Higgs. So as you can see, when you see the emblem or the logo of the school, that's where their particular courses start. And it'll also tell you the credit hours. And again, it'll tell you the prerequisites that you must possess in order to take that particular course. When you get down to Moore Tech, which is towards the end, that of course is the technical partnership that we have. Here it talks about all of the associate programs that are offered and gives a brief description about that as well. So if at any time, as far as the advanced placement courses are concerned, if you have any questions, the email for the teacher will be there, and you can certainly email the teacher your question, and I'm sure they'll be happy to respond. Now, we are in talks with Baptist. We've had a partnership with them before, and so we're developing new classes with them. And if you're interested in Baptist or attending Baptist, just know within a couple of weeks, we're going to put out some information about that. However, it was not ready for us to put out at this time because we wanted to make sure that everything was final and solid for us to present to our students. Okay, so that is the handbook. The handbook will be available on the school website. We will put it out. Hopefully we can get it out. Well, I know we'll get it out by tomorrow and it will be available. And I think she just put it in the link for you all in the chat for you all to look at. Okay. All right, let's move to the next piece of the slide. Okay, so in order to actually take an AP course, you have to apply. So this year, we normally have paper copies. But this year we will do an online application. And Dr. Hicks, I'm just waiting for you. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So we will put the link in the chat as well. It will also be on the website. So the application process will be a Microsoft form that you all will fill out. The application deadline for the form will be May 7th. They have to have your student will have to have 2 teacher recommendations. What's going to happen here, the student will copy the link right there. It says 2 under the process. You will copy the link and you will email that link to your teacher that you're asking for a recommendation. So for example, in AP biology, Mr. Miller asked for the recommendation from the chemistry teacher. So you will copy the link and you will send it to Mr. Cordero or Ms. Jones or Ms. Jenkins. And in that email, you need to say, hey, I need you to complete this online recommendation. I'm applying for AP biology. Please complete this form by May 7th. And then that's it. I would definitely follow up with an email to them probably by May 5th and May 6th to make sure that that recommendation, that they've completed it and that it's in, okay? So the responsibility will be on you. You don't have to give them a paper copy, but you do have to email and you do have to follow up. All right, so keep going for me. Go all the way down. You will click on this link and you will fill it out. So if you're a current 8th grader, 9th grader, 10th, 11th coming in, ask for an email address. So again, the grade is the current grade that you're in. So if you are a current 9th grader, you're going to click 9th. If you're a current 10th grader, you're going to click 10th, okay? So fill it out. Go all the way down for me, Dr. Higgs. So here you can select however many courses that you're going to apply for based off of you reading and looking through the academic handbook. If you want to do, but also look at the grade too. So 9 through 12 can take art history. 11th and 12th graders only in AP chemistry. Computer science is 9 through 12. So the grades are there for you to see, so that you make sure that you're in the correct grade in order to apply for that class. So it is the grade that you're going to. So if you're in the 10th grade, you definitely can apply for AP English language, okay? You can apply for AP music theory. You can apply for AP psychology, okay? So the grades are there. Keep going for me. Keep going. Now, number 9, this is very important because on number 9, here is what we're asking you to submit. A copy of your current report card, a writing sample with at least 500 words. So it's something that you have already written, maybe it's already been graded, and you can submit it. A student resume that would include any leadership and or community service that you've done, and a copy of your PSAT scores or your ACT scores. What you're going to do, you're going to upload it to that file. You're going to put your name, and you're going to attach, say if it was me, it would say Minnie Blackman report card, Minnie Blackman essay, Minnie Blackman resume, okay? And then you will upload it. You can only upload it in a Word document or in a PDF. Again, a Word document or a PDF, okay? So, and then that's it. That's all you have to do. And here's the other thing. Number 10 says, I acknowledge that I fully understand that I have until June 30th, 2021 to drop any AP course that I register for. I fully understand that after June 30th of 2021, I will be enrolled and expected to complete all assignments assigned. So in other words, by the end of June, you need to make sure that, hey, I'm staying. I'm going to do the work. I am going to follow through with AP psychology. If you have doubts, then you need to really dig deep and decide, am I really going to spend this time to do this or not? Then you have to decide by the 30th if you no longer want to be in that class. After the 30th, after you click, yes, I understand and agree with the above statement, you're there. The expectation is that you will be there, you will do the work, and you will take the exam. Okay? So, again, the recommendation, the application are all online. It will be uploaded to the website. We're going to drop the link in the chat. And, yeah, that's it. Okay, and if Dr. Higgs, will you go to the next slide? That's the recommendation. That's what the teachers are going to fill out. Okay? All right, next slide for me. And you guys, this is the timeline. This is the timeline of the process. So I guess you're wondering, so when will I find out? So today is April 14th. We're having April 14th, we had the teachers meeting. The parent meeting is today, which is April 22nd. The application process will start, well, basically today, and it will end on May 7th. May 7th is the deadline. The form will be shut off on the 7th. That's it. You got to get it in. You got to do it. You got to hit your deadline, okay? The application review, teachers will review from May 10th through May 21st. On May 24th, teachers will submit their list to Mr. Allred. And on June 4th, you will receive an email stating, hey, Congratulations, you have been accepted into this AP class. So you'll get that email, and you'll probably also end up getting the summer work. And please note, AP will have summer work. You will have to complete the summer work. So again, all of these things you must think about. So on June 18th, you will get your AP contract. You will sign it and all that good stuff. And then by the 30th, again, after the 30th, we will not be dropping AP. We will do the summer work, and we will have a great year next year. Okay? So take a quick picture of that with your phone, but this is being recorded. We will put it on the website for you to go back and review when you need to review it. All right? And we will have questions at the end, so I'm sure you guys have some, and you can always put it in the chat. Okay? That's enough from me. So we'll move into Mr. Allred. Mr. Allred.
I know I'm muted, cameras off. I just went rolling with it. So
Okay.
going back to AP just for a minute, the AP exam, as Blackman mentioned, this exam passing this exam is where the college credit is awarded based on what the college you go to, what they accept. And it is a rigorous course because it's really difficult to determine what's going to actually be on that exam, and there's a whole lot of material to cover. So doing that means summer work, and if you try to drop after, like at the end of the summer, because you didn't do summer work, well, we spent a whole lot of time making sure the schedule worked out so that you could get your AP class. So just that's the reasoning behind it. And so once that June 30 hits, so just know that's what you got to do. And counselors can't drop it. Admin, it would be up to Miss Epps would be the decision maker. You'd have to go straight to her. Okay, going next in. So we're continuing with what we call our EPSOs, or what the state calls EPSOs, and those are early post-secondary opportunities. So we're taking early college and high school, and there's 3 different types. We talked about AP. The second one is dual enrollment. So go ahead, Dr. Higgs. All right, so the district came up with a plan a few years ago to make sure that as many students as possible had access to dual enrollment classes. And these are some of the reasons. The dual enrollment differs from AP in that the application is the admissions application to the college. You're not evaluated by a teacher per se to come into your class. If you meet the academic qualifications for that college and that course, then you're in. There's no that's just what it is. And so that's one of the differences, that the ultimate decision is coming from the college. You can go to the next slide. You, just like any other EPSO, you're working toward your college degree while you're in high school. And trust me when I say, as a 6-year person, meaning that took 6 years to get a bachelor's degree, if I had done some of this in high school, my time, even though I kind of played around and dropped out and went back, it still would have been much shorter and my career would have started earlier. So the dual enrollment program provides qualified high school students the opportunity to enroll in these colleges. Like I said, the dual enrollment program is either going to be taught by a college professor, and it can be taught sometimes by a teacher in a high school if they qualify to be a professor. If they have enough hours of a subject on their transcript, then they can also teach. Like I said before, participating students must meet the college admissions requirements. And we'll talk about a little bit about that as we go through the partners. Okay, next slide. So dual enrollment grant. So I know you've heard this term, tuition. Every college has tuition, and dual enrollment classes are no different, except what they're going to do. Each college that we work with, they are discounting the price of each class to match the grant that the state of Tennessee will give each student. So every student in the state of Tennessee gets first 2 courses. That's $500 for each course. The cost of the course with the college is going to be $500. So that's 2 courses, 6 hours of college credit for free. I cannot tell you the number of students who leave high school and they've left this $1,000 on the table. So for the 3rd course, you're going to get $200 from the state. And so your cost, depending on the college, could be up to $300, or it could be discounted by the college, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So we've got some students that are up into courses 5 through 10. The $100 per credit hour is coming out of the HOPE scholarship. And for students who are not going to stay in the state, can't use the HOPE anyway, it's not going to matter as much. Or because you took these dual enrollment classes, you've gotten more scholarships and it doesn't impact your awards. So this is the breakdown from the state. If you qualify for a fee waiver in school based on your income that you provide at registration, then the district is going to pay the difference in the courses even after the discount from the colleges. So go to the next slide. The dual enrollment grant, one thing I forgot to say is there is a grant deadline, and the colleges have actually started not enrolling you, not allowing you to be on the roster until you do the grant. So that's one of the things I like about that. But when you, and it's on our website, all the links are there. Part of dual enrollment registration is not only the application for each of these schools, it's also doing that grant, and then you will tell me what you've done or that you've enrolled, so I can make sure you're on the roster. So these are our partners again. We've worked for years with University of Memphis, Bethel University, and Southwest. Coming on next year again is Baptist College of Health Sciences, y'all know, nursing school, and then more tech for our career folks who are more interested in that hands-on class or that career that is not so academic. I'm not reading novels and all that kind of thing. Next. Okay, so Southwest, they were our first partner when I've been at Central about 11 years now. I think 8 years ago, we had 4 or 5 students that were in English Comp 1 and 2. So Southwest has the biggest opportunity as far as dual enrollment courses. Go to the next slide. This is why they want you to choose. You see the list here, and you can always look at that later. I think we kind of cover that many times. What kind of classes are available? So these classes listed here you can see them. Some of them have the academic requirements. So if I want to take English Comp 1 or 2, I have to have an ACT score of a 19 in reading or an 18 in English, because that's what a college freshman would have to have. That's what Southwest says you have to have. If I want to take a math course, I need a 19. Or sometimes they'll take a PSAT. With the pandemic this year, they have not actually said for next year, but for this year, they worked with GPAs only. The beginning of the list, academic success, is a class we've tried for a couple of years for seniors who do not have an 18 in reading. When you go to Southwest, you have to take this class as part of any degree program. So we thought, why not take it at Central? 2 other courses that we started this year, Intro to Business and then Intro to Criminal Justice, because of the Blue Path program through Memphis Police Department, where students are able to graduate from high school and begin work toward the police academy by working for MPD and going to school at night. And everything is paid for through the Tennessee Promise. By taking criminal justice in high school as an 11th or 12th grader, you're going to have a really good idea of what you're getting into before you are there. So I think that I want to build that program, and I'm hoping more students will take advantage of it. And the good thing about business criminal justice, there is no ACT requirement. Next slide. These are the links and the steps. All of this is on the Southwest website, and it'll be available for you. Every college is going to require that you do a college application, just like our seniors have done this year in order to go to college next year as freshmen. You have to do the same thing. These forms are available or will be available through links as well. These forms for Southwest and Bethel require parent permission. They want you to know that your child is in the class, and that's what these links are going to be about as well. And then, of course, the grant. So we can keep going. This is the contact for Southwest. Sometimes you can definitely call on your own. Sedaria's great; she will help you, or you can go through me. Either one's fine. Dual enrollment at Memphis. Go ahead. So for Memphis, we have a partnership with Methodist Hospital that includes 3 courses: anatomy and physiology, which in the college level is called biology 2010 and 2020, exercise science, and we also have nutrition. So the anatomy and physiology, nutrition, they are requirements in every nursing program. The idea here is that we're helping build a pipeline of allied health professionals. The exercise science class is more for physical therapists, even trainers, like if you want to be a trainer in the NFL for a team. Intro to Exercise Science is one of those basic classes that comes with on your way to getting a degree or being certified as a physical therapist. So we also have math classes. College algebra is the most popular that our students take, and you need a 19 on the ACT. Probability and statistics, that's the same thing. Elementary calculus for students who qualify. We also have some students this year take American government because they didn't have time in their schedule or whatever to take U.S. government required for graduation. And it's also, you see, it's a political science class. So if I'm thinking pre-law or I'm thinking political science, then this is a good starter class that you can take and not pay anything, that you really get a good idea of what that major is about. Also, U.S. history is available, and like I said, nutrition and even personal finance is available through U of M. The good thing about U of M is that because of this program, we have a professor actually on our campus in person who will teach anatomy and exercise science. The other classes are online. Yeah, next slide. So the admission, again, we're looking at, this is their admission requirements for dual enrollment. The link is available. You'll have it in the handbook where you can go ahead and apply. So you'll apply for admission to their dual enrollment program, and I will automatically get an email requesting your transcript. I will upload that into their portal, and then you and I will have a discussion about what class it is that you're taking so that I can make sure you're on the roster. Go ahead. I was talking earlier about discounts. So U of M does discount their courses. If you notice, Class 1 and Class 2 are free. You pay nothing. Class 3, remember, you get $200 from the state, which meant you had to pay $300. If you take all 4 of your classes at U of M, you use all the grant money there, they're going to discount the 3rd class down to $98, which is almost the exact same price as the AP class. And they're going to discount the 4th class. Instead of being $500, it's going to be $300. We have an example of what tuition is in a couple of minutes. And although that may be steep in the present time, but it may not be, if you're a 10th grader now, it may not be when you're a senior, and especially compared to when you're in college. The next slide. So these are some of the questions, and all of this is on the Memphis website, and it'll be on ours. Memphis is really good about taking PSAT scores instead of the ACT, so we do have students who use that are able to take the classes. The next slide. So this is one of the things that I'm going to mention also later. In order to keep this money that I talk about, this free money coming, you have to keep a 2.75 college GPA. That's not central GPA, that is college GPA. So, and each college has a different grading scale, and we have to go by their grading scale when this funding is determined. All right, so those are the documents I talked about earlier. Keep going. So Bethel is another one. We've had a great relationship with Bethel. Bethel is in McKenzie, Tennessee, East Tennessee, so it's a good little ways away from us. So everything that they offer is online. So to balance that, we have support teachers in place. So English Comp 1 and 2, Mr. Madison is the support teacher. So he's not going to teach the class every day because you're in college, right? He's going to proofread when you need it. If they send an academic alert, says you're behind, he's going to help you catch up, that sort of thing. So you're not just out in this wasteland. And I know some of you may have felt like that this year. You are not out there alone. There's someone with you helping you kind of navigate this. Psychology would be with Miss Lee. Sociology was with Miss Boyer. We are going to introduce oral communication, speech. That is a huge part of every business degree. I've seen it even in pre-med professional studies. This is a great way to do oral communications, is to do it online versus standing in front of a class and doing different speeches every week or every month, depending on how it's assigned. But you have, again, we'll have classroom support for Bethel classes. Keep going. So Craig is their dual enrollment coordinator, and Craig and Kim work at Bethel. They're very hands-on. They will call me if they need anything from you. They will contact you personally. So they're really great to work with. Their discount system is a little different than Memphis. If you do all 4 classes with them, your first 4 classes, they're going to discount the 3rd class down to $100, just like Memphis did. They're going to give you that 4th one for free. So you're only going to pay $100 for 4 classes at Bethel University. So you will be being a student at Bethel, you have a Bethel transcript. And not many students go to Bethel, but let's say you're going to go to U of M after you graduate, request a transcript from Bethel, and Memphis adds it to your transcript there. So you're not taking those classes again, and you're not paying for them, like we said. Next slide. Mortec. This is one of my favorite partnerships because I think we're just missing this in our building, and the restructuring of what we call CTE or vocational courses kind of took away lots of our opportunities. So here we're getting it back, and we're getting it back in a dual enrollment form, which is actually better because the students starting in the 11th grade will be starting toward an associate's program, a certificate program. So we can take HVAC, property maintenance, you see these. Welding is, of course, the most popular. Machine technology is the one that Memphis is short of employees, and you can get that. You can be making a whole lot of money just out of high school working for Smith & Nephew, putting together artificial limbs and artificial hips, so different things like that. And of course, there's always a shortage of plumbing. If you've ever paid a plumber, you know it's expensive, and you're paying for that expertise. And after a couple of years, you could start to work. So these are offered in the morning. Students will have 3 classes at Central. They will be gone for 4 classes. So first period is at Central, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th is travel time to Mortec. The Mortec class travel back, then 3rd lunch, and then 6th and 7th period. Like I said, transportation is provided through the CTE department, and I'm going to ask you to contact me about the details about funding. You are going to do the FAFSA a little early. So Mortec's not on the dual enrollment grant program for Tennessee. They are on an early FAFSA, so federal money would pay your tuition as long as you qualify. If you don't qualify, if you were to pay out of pocket, let's say, it's right at $1,000, but they have some really generous scholarships. They work with families because they're really excited about having our students over there. Okay, next. So I am the dual enrollment coordinator per se, but so I can answer as many questions. But Ms. Caruth also is very knowledgeable of dual enrollment, and if you fall on her caseload as far as when we're making schedules for rising 11th and 12th graders starting next week, you'll see you can always ask her as well, and that's our contact. Okay, so one more time, when we're signing up for dual enrollment, you're going to notify us if you're not sure exactly. So we saw Comp 1 and Comp 2, which is the most popular, at 3 different schools. So I'm going to ask you, if you contact me because you're not sure which one, I'm going to ask you, what do you want to major in college? What are you taking in high school? Like, what is your reasoning behind the class that you want to take, so that we can determine the best path? Because we want you to pay the least amount of money as possible, number one. Number two, we want it to count towards your degree program. So I can go online to your college of choice and I can see if this class is part of the degree program. That's the way we want to do it. Once you do the application, I'm going to submit your transcript. You're going to get an acceptance email, just like every other college student ever. You're going to create your account based on what's in that email. And depending if it's online or if you're going to class, you'll have access to your schedule and all that sort of thing. Most of the time, we know the book. You'll get a syllabus for the class. The book will be purchased by the district. You do not have to buy the book either. You do have to return it afterwards, but you do not have to buy the book either. Go ahead. So grading, this is a big sticker for some of our students and parents. The dual enrollment, again, is taught by a college professor. So if you think back to, or think about someone who's been in college and may have mentioned it, you don't get grades until the end of the semester. So that is when we get grades. So we're not going to have a progress report. You're not going to have a report card. It's going to be up to the student, because you as the parent, or y'all have decided that you're mature enough to handle this college class, and we're going to support you. But one thing we will never know is exactly what your grades are or what assignments you're missing. There's no Power School link that we can look at. So it's really important that you keep up with it. Usually, sometimes colleges they'll tell us, hey, here's an academic alert, or I can't get this student to do any work. They'll give us a name, but very, very rare do they do that. And I even had a parent a couple of years ago who tried to contact a professor and wanted to talk to her that because her child was a minor, that she should be able to, and had to explain to her it just does not work that way. So when you're college students, you are responsible for handling your business with your classes. Go ahead. So costs, we've already been through that a little bit. Make sure anytime if you're taking a college class, it is extremely important that you keep that 2.75. This is going on your high school transcript. When they send the grades, I'm going to put it on the transcript manually, so that it's reported, like I said, at the end of the semester. So, but you also have that college transcript, and doesn't matter where you land. If you do dual enrollment at Southwest but end up at UT Knox, they're going to know you took that class, and they're going to ask for a transcript. You have to send that transcript. And if you have a lower grade, then you're starting at a deficit in college. You're going to have to make up for it. But also, if you're an 11th grader and you're really wanting to get way ahead to keep that grant money coming, you're going to have to keep the 2.75. So this is the example of the cost. 9 hours, that's 3 classes of college for dual enrollment. It's going to be $300-ish for you. And if you wait and you take it after high school, it could cost up to $4,000. And even if you don't pay that out of pocket, you're using a Pell Grant or a scholarship, that $4,000 could go a long way to something else, instead of taking some basic courses that you're more than qualified to take as a high school student. Go ahead. Okay, Tennessee statewide dual credit. A few years ago, Tennessee started a new program where students could earn dual credit. So dual credit, I'm getting credit in high school, and I'm getting credit for a college class while I'm in high school. You can go ahead. You are not enrolled in a college. So statewide dual credit is giving high school students an opportunity to be exposed to college level coursework. And these courses are aligned to college objectives. They are accepted by every college in Tennessee. Private colleges like out of state may or may not, you may have to ask them, but any school that's governed by the state of Tennessee, Board of Regents, they're going to accept this credit as long as you pass the course in high school and you pass the challenge exam at the end of the year. So much like AP has the AP exam, of course. It's about 4 hours long. The challenge exam could be 90 minutes to 2 hours. It's more like a final exam in a college class. And that's exactly what it is versus an AP exam, which is just much longer and more in depth. So all students who are enrolled in dual credit, like I said, you're going to take this challenge exam. If you meet the cutoff score, it's going to be reported on your high school transcript. So when that transcript's sent to the college you enroll in, they're going to see it. And your advisor will know that, hey, you've already had pre-calculus, so we can go on to Cal 1. Go ahead. So what we're going to be offering next year, we're going to have our freshmen typically take world history. So next year, we're going to give them this opportunity and this exposure by they're going to be enrolled in dual credit version of world history. So the teachers, again, are high school teachers. Same teachers are teaching basically the same subject matter, but it's going to be a different format, and what the students have to give back in assignments or in exams, it's going to be a different format too, because it is this college level coursework. If you think about college classes that last a semester, this lasts the entire year. So you've got longer to get into this course and the objectives. And because the teachers, and not a professor, but your teachers that you see every day, they're the ones grading. So they're going to have complete flexibility with grading, just like they do now. We're going to do the same thing with our U.S. history students, and those are our rising juniors. So you're going to have U.S. history just like always. It's going to be the dual credit version. You'll have, instead of a 10 ready EOC that you're going to take in a couple of weeks, you're going to have a dual credit exam. Passing the dual credit exam, unlike the 10 ready, will give you that college credit on your transcript so that when you do go to college, you're not having to take U.S. history over. We also have dual credit pre-calculus, and math is a little different. We have way more math options, students at varying levels of math. So, and you can substitute different maths for the 4th year. So pre-cal is just one of those options, as well as statistics. I try to explain pre-cal, kind of going into the sciences like engineering, statistics, business, humanities, psychology. So I try to align it to what you say you want to do. We also have intro to business, which is going to be required in any business degree, whether it's marketing or accounting, whatever. So we have that also here at Central. Go ahead. So I've said a lot, and it's really, sometimes even the adults, we get dual enrollment, dual credit mixed up. So these are the differences, just for you to refer back to. The biggest thing think of is dual enrollment is I am a student at a college at the same time I'm a student at a high school. Dual credit, I am taking a college level class in high school at my high school, taught by my high school teacher. And I know it's confusing because we have support teachers and all that, but if you have any questions about it, please reach out. But this is some differences if you want to look at it. Every dual credit class is always free. It doesn't matter which one it is, which year it is. For dual enrollment, your grant would not start until you're in the 11th grade, but with dual credit, a 9th graders will be in dual credit world history. Go ahead. So what's right for your student? You're the only one, and I think there's a lot of students on here. I'm so glad you came. You know what's right for you. You know that thinking about Microsoft Teams and how you did your classes this year, that is a great example of independence and how well you did. It doesn't matter which one of these classes that you take, it's going to be more rigorous than a traditional high school class, and you are going to have to approach it in a different way. And think about that when you are deciding, think about classes that you know you either need or you're passionate about. Those are the ones you want to go toward. If I am not good at math and I have a C in Algebra 2, we're not going to take DC Pre-Cal, but DC Stats is a different animal. It's not as abstract. You will be able to, and I don't know how to explain it other than that. So it's not the same thing. So I want you to, really think about that. This year, I think my dual enrollment students did really, really well. I only had one or two that were a surprise. Everyone's pretty much A's and B's, a couple of C's here and there. So the dual enrollment partners, they really work well with our high school students. We want you to be successful. But it's not a gimme. It's going to be a little extra. As counselors, we're going to work with you on the schedule. So if you're taking one of these advanced academics courses and you've never had anything like it, you may need an extra period. You may want a TA, office assistant, or whatever. We can work with you to get you some extra time. You won't be in all 7 classes if we're looking at, one of those situations. So again, refer to the book, the handbook that Ms. Blackman has created. It's an amazing resource to, answer some of those questions. And as always, you can reach out to me. So thank you very much. I want to turn it over to Ms. Epps.
Ms. Epps, before we begin, we have a couple of questions I think Mr. Allred could address.
Okay, sure.
All right, a little bit more information on the application process. A parent wants to know where can they find the links to the college's applications. They're not in the handbook.
I will put them in the chat. The easiest place is for me to give you the link to the Central High dual enrollment page. So I'm going to put that link in the chat here in just a second.
All right, and there was also a question about, is dual credit automatic if you are in that class? I'm guessing about credit being awarded.
You have to pass the challenge exam at the end of the year to get the college credit.
All right. One more here. Could you speak to how AP versus DE versus DC classes are weighted for purposes of calculating GPA?
They are all weighted exactly the same. You get 1 extra quality point so you'll have points added. The points are different. So, if you're in an AP class, you have 5 points added to your grade at the end of every term. If you're in an honors, you have 3. If you're in DE or DC, you're familiar with the 4. So that part's the same. But the quality point side, once those points are added, if you make an A, each class is going to give you 5 quality points. If you make a B, it'll be 4, and so forth. C is 3. So they're weighted the same quality point wise. The extra points are different, where one group is 4 points extra, one group's 5 points extra.
All right. And lastly, we did mention PSAT scores a few times in the application processes. Is that something that parent needs to obtain a copy of, or will they be sent directly from us to the college?
The students should be able to access through the College Board account. Like, they can create an account and they can link to the scores. It's probably easier, honestly, and we didn't have that many PSAT 10 and 11 students test this year. If you want to email me, I will send you a PDF of those scores. I can access them through a portal.
All right, thank you. That's all I see in the chat. I guess we'll turn it over to Ms. Epps at this point.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Allred and Ms. Blackman, for your help tonight. Thank you, Mr. McClellan, for managing the chat, and Dr. Higgs for managing our PowerPoints tonight and all of our applications. I want to thank the parents and the students for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. I do want to mention one thing on the AP application. When Ms. Blackman was talking about uploading your essay and your scores and so forth, You can send a picture of those things. So if you have an iPhone, you can always use the notes thing to create a PDF and upload them that way, or take a screenshot off your computer and upload them that way. So there are many ways that you can upload that information to the application. I hope this was succinct and helpful to everyone tonight. Again, share this information with everybody and anybody that wants to look into these classes. And we have been recording, and we will be putting this on our website so you can have access to it, along with all of the handbooks and the application links. And if no one has any other questions, we will adjourn for the evening.
One
Thank
thing,
you.
Ms. Epps, you guys please give us, we'll try to get it up tonight, but if we can't get it up tonight, know for sure it will be on the website by in the morning, okay? At least by 10 in the morning. All right. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day. Great night. Yeah.